Well, hello, and welcome to another video where today we're just going to be covering the Killing Floor series and how powerful it is, because of course we're just going to do this. If you happen to like the video, please make sure to drop a like and make sure to subscribe, as it does motivate me to make more videos like this. So yeah. Anyways, let's just get right on into the video. Now, to start off this section of the video, we're just going to talk about the origins of the Zeds, and to be completely honest, there really isn't much known, outside of the fact they're all cloned off a guy named Kevin Clamley, and some are modified. There just isn't much to really say about this. Again, I'm mostly getting most of this info off a wiki, so in all reality, I do apologize for the lack of info, but yeah, that's basically its origin. They're just clones of a guy who fucking then modifies himself. And mind you, for Killing Floor, 3, the bosses don't have much lore on them yet, though we can assume they're modified Zeds, and some of them I will try to give some images to, but that's kind of about it. Yeah, this section's kind of short, so yeah, let's get on to the actual power of these fucking things. Now, to start off this section of the video, we're going to talk about Killing Floor Uncovered, which is a film that takes place before the events of Killing Floor 1, and in that, we see a Zed able to tear out the spine of a human being. Now, this can roughly estimate from Class K, but even as low as Class 5 to Class 25, as there was 2 different calcs for it, depending on whether or not you want to use VSBW, or the one from my friend Unknown, which shout out to him, please do subscribe to him. But yeah, and going off the amount of force it would take for both of those, it can be roughly from street level to wall level, depending on how much force you have for the lifting strength, due to the amount of work that it would take. So yeah, it's really just street to wall level by the time of Killing Floor 1. With the Zed that was capable of ripping out the spine being the lowest of the low for Zeds. In fact, it's considered the weakest by many statements, which yeah, means anything can upscale off of it, especially something like a Flesh Pound, which is capable of running through them as shown in the official trailer and stated that it would. Plus, the Flesh Pound was stated as the most powerful non-boss. So it'd be like a one-shot difference, which roughly makes it from wall to small building, which is quite impressive, especially since the Patriarch, which is the most powerful in Killing Floor 1, is capable of upscaling that. So yeah, that is quite insane. Now, to finish off the Killing Floor 1 section of this video, we're just going to talk about the Husk, which has the ability to shoot a fireball at the range of, or the speed of, the Law, with the Law being based on the M72 rocket launcher, which is around 145 meters a second. That's around subsonic. Then of course the other two includes the Bloat, which is capable of vomiting an acid at you, which yeah, does give it the ability to shoot acid, which is pretty cool. And then finally, our final one here is going to be the Siren, who's capable of using sonic screams, which yeah, definitely gives them sound manipulation. So overall for this section, that is pretty good for a first section. Now let's get on to the Killing Floor 2 section. So to start off this section of the video, I am going to note this, that everything from Killing Floor 1 also applies to Killing Floor 2, as it's verbatim stated that the Zeds in this game are in fact more dangerous and bigger and badder than their original counterparts, with it even being noted through their designs, and also stated by the art book that yeah, these designs do indicate that they are in fact supposed to be far more powerful than their Killing Floor 1 counterparts, with the weakest of these Zeds being able to bust through vents, which was calced to around wall level, and yeah, that being like the lowest end, that's pretty crazy. And with the establishment of the Fleshbound being able to one-shot him and even run through him, which is still established here, yeah, that can get to around small building for the Flesh Pound. But there is also other variants we'll be talking about, with one of these such variants being the Edgars, which yeah, are a bit weird and a bit newer. They come a part of the Matriarch, the new boss, and there's also the Quarter Pounds, which are described to be less durable in smaller versions, but hit just as hard. So yeah, another small building, which is pretty fucking crazy. And finally, we have the bosses such as the King Flesh Pound, which is meant to be an upgraded Flesh Pound, the Abomination, which is supposed to be an upgraded Bloat, Hans Volter, one of the people behind it, the Patriarch, who is the other person behind it, aka Kevin Clamley, and then finally the Matriarch, who created all the Edgars and is the daughter of Kevin Clamley, and all of them should at least be above the Flesh Pound and all the others. So yeah, that's gonna end off the section of Killing Floor 2. Let's get on to the Killing Floor 3 section. Now, when I was recording this, I almost forgot to mention one more thing. There is another speed thing for the Zeds, though it is questionable. There's a statement about it involving Zed time, which is something the mercenaries can see, but it also seems that it can be affected by the Zeds somewhat, so it's questionable, but I'll throw it out there. It is technically a subsonic calc, so I will put it out there, but yeah, just you decide on whether or not it's valid. That's basically that. But yeah, let's get on to the Killing Floor 3 section now. Now, to start off the Killing Floor 3 section of this video, I should note that there is a new statement that suggests that the Zeds in this game are even worse than their Killing Floor 2 counterparts. So at this point in this series, they are at their most powerful, which yeah, definitely adds a fair bit more, with in-game descriptions of the Zeds saying they've been biomechanically upgraded, which also does add to them being upgraded. Plus, there is a new feat for the Flesh Pound and a new statement for the Scrake that we'll be talking about really soon. Now, the feat in question involves the Flesh Pound being able to break through a doorway, which is similar to how how it breaks through walls, and the calc for this was oddly enough small building level, which sounds pretty ridiculous, but the statement for the Scrake also gets it to building level based on the fact they can apparently saw through things like armored vehicles, bunkers, like holy shit. But yeah, that's kind of just it for the new stuff, and let's get on to the bosses finally. With the weakest of these bosses being the Queen Crawler, who is arguably more powerful than her original counterpart, and I think made the Meyer Klotz, I can't recall, but to put it simply, she is far more strong than her original counterpart and is a boss level threat, which is considered far above even Flesh Pounds and Skrakes. So yeah, out of all of them, she is the weakest though, sadly, with the ability to teleport, but is definitely the weakest. With the next boss we're talking about being the Impaler, which is stated to be the most expensive and the largest Zed created by Horizon, which makes it quite powerful. Plus, it's also stated to go through obstacles, which also makes it far more powerful and makes that whole building level statement from the Skrakes sound even more reasonable. Plus, it being a boss level threat makes it very powerful, and arguably number one, though I will say the Chimera might have it, as the Chimera is stated to be the crowning achievement of Project Chimera, which arguably makes it the most powerful, which yeah, it does say a lot, with it also being a boss level threat, and the fact that this thing apparently eats things, yeah, it adds a lot, and apparently makes those Meyer Klotz, so yeah. Now before I end the video, I do want to show that every wiki here used is in fact officially licensed by Tripwire, and they do endorse it as information to be used. So if anyone is questioning, yes, I did in fact use official sources. Now I want to thank you all as well for all the support over the years, and yeah, thank you all for watching the video, and I shall see you all later.